Hi guys, my name is Timmy and I'm the founder of Hey Foundation Africa, and today I am going to be talking to you about depression. Now, when you're depressed, it usually feels like you're carrying a huge burden on your shoulder, and sometimes we can be sad, sometimes we can be just out of the mood, but that's not depression. So we define depression as a prolonged state of sadness, a prolonged state of loss of activity, loss of interest in daily activities. And so if we want to make this much more relatable, there have been times, I believe that there have been times when you realize that you have lost interest in doing anything, you do not want to go anywhere, you don't want to step out of your room, nothing makes sense to you, and more or less it feels like all hope is lost. So those kind of symptoms, those kind of signs can be what we classify as depression. So depression is one of the most common mental health disorders in the world, as thousands of people on a daily basis are affected by depression. So the question then is, what are some of the causes of depression? Why do people get depressed? It's very important that we note that people who have gone through adverse life events like unemployment, financial crisis, the loss of a loved one are of the higher chance of getting depressed or being affected by depression. Now, some of the other causes of depression would include chemical imbalances in the brain, traumatic events. It could be from childhood, it could be from basically things that have happened in your past, your current state of affairs, the loss of a loved one like mentioned earlier on. Those are some of the causes of depression. So what then are the symptoms of depression? How do you know that you might be getting depressed, your family member, your loved one, your close friend is getting depressed? One would be loss of interest in daily activities that usually you'll be hyped about, but you find yourself over a long period of time that you're no longer interested in those activities. Second would be fatigue, loss of energy, lack of appetite, physical symptoms like headaches, back pains or body pains. So another symptom would include persistent thoughts of death or suicide, frustration, loss of weight. There are often times that people are depressed, and the way some of the symptoms would include eating too much. It could also include being overly hyperactive. So when you notice that you have this friend who all of a sudden they keep eating, it's good to find out what exactly is going on. Or you have a friend who all of a sudden is just overly hyperactive. That's just a front to cover what is going on the inside. And those are some of the few symptoms of depression. So how then can we treat depression? How then can we help a family member or a loved one who is going through depression? There are medical treatments, there are antidepressants that are usually prescribed to people who are going through depression. There's also psychotherapy, and when you go to your therapist and then you more or less talk through whatever you're going through in your life. And it's also very important that for those of us who want to know how to help our family members or our loved ones who are going through depression or who are going through a hard time, we don't need to have the right things to say, or we do not need to be a medical professional or a practitioner to support someone who is going through depression or any mental health disorder. Sometimes all we need to do is just listen. All we need to do is just take time to be kind. 5 minutes of your time to check up on someone. 5 minutes of your time. You have noticed that, for example, your friend has just lost interest in doing things that you and her used to do. It doesn't take less than 5 minutes to actually find out what exactly is going on in the person's life. And if we pay more attention to our family members and our loved ones, we will be able to pick up these signs, these symptoms that lead towards depression. I hope that with this short session we've gained valuable knowledge that we can use in our daily lives. Thank you guys so much, and see you again next week Tuesday.